Hello friends, and welcome to my garden. Today I'm going to tell you basics about how would you receive a violet in the mail and what should you do with it. Sometimes post office is really rough, and no matter how hard we're packing the plants, they still get damaged. But I just wanted to let you know that violet is really hardy plant, and it's literally indestructible. If you know how to rehab it and what to do with it, you can bring to life literally any plant. And as I said, post office could be really rough on our plants. So when you received plants, you can do certain things to help your little plants. If you received your African violet and no mix peeled, no leaves broken, and the flower is still attached, you are really lucky. If nothing wrong with your plant, then just let it be. So usually there is such opinion that you should change your flower mix right away as you receive your violet, and that view is not really right. I usually let my plants be in the same soil for at least a month, because when you receive your plant, it's been through the rough time. It's just survived the shipping. It's possibly changed the climate and the temperature and the humidity and all other things. So try to minimize shock and just let it be in the same soil, same pot for at least a month. So the plant would adjust to your conditions much quickly and much more successful. And please excuse my birds, they like to be in the movies. They're really loud when I start speaking, but hopefully they don't bother you too much. One thing that I'd like to show you is that these are my new coming violets. This shipment I have received recently. And what did I do here? I put all my new violets in this kind of greenhouse. It's a mini greenhouse that costed like about $6, and the bottom was like about $2, so it's really inexpensive. And I put all my plants in there because for at least 1 month you won't observe all the plants, just in case if they have bugs or issues or viruses or anything. You just want to make sure that your plants are safe for your collection. Don't put your plants right away into your collection, because it just might bring you lots of troubles. Plus, when you put your new plants in this little greenhouse, it helps your plants to survive first month. They have nice high humidity out there, not too high but just enough, and they will take the change of climate, temperature and other factors much easier if they're going to be in the greenhouse. These plants I got from professional greenhouses, and they are professional people. They ship their plants all the time. I still had a couple leaves broken, and that's absolutely fine. It's actually pretty much good, because if you have broken leaf, don't throw it away. Just stick it in a mix, African violet mix, and you'll have more babies very soon. In about 5 weeks you'll see the first babies. These 2 leaves, they were broken really short, and that's not a problem, because even the short leaf you still can plant. I'll show you it closely. You can see that the bottom I cut off the bottom of this leaf, because I don't want the green side of the leaf to be in the soil, and I wanted to middle part of the leaf being in the soil, because that's where the roots coming out. And leaf like this will produce babies. And the other one is also really short, but this one I didn't cut. I just stuck it in, and I'm expecting babies soon. And little violet like this, I got them also from really good seller, and they were not really happy leaves, and they start getting rotten on one side. So I just keep cutting it and cutting, and even if I cut it so short, it still gave me a bunch of babies. You can see both leaves were not happy. but they still produce babies. So if you received your plant and it's in a great shape and you don't have the greenhouse, I just take regular Dunkin' Donuts cup, put the plant right inside, and I close it with the lid. So that would help me to raise the humidity inside, and it has a little opening so humidity wouldn't be too high, because if your humidity too high, your plant might not do very good, and it'll be just too wet, which is not very healthy. And usually I put this in a light spot, not the open sunshine, but someplace nice and bright. Usually east side window or west side window will be perfect. And next scenario, when you didn't have a good shipping and the plant is really damaged. I have that little guy. He's going to be my experimental thing. If you open the box and the guy is out of the pot, like totally out, there is no soil, there is no nothing, like total mess, and the leaves are broken. So what should you do in this case? That's probably the most undesirable condition that your plant might arrive, but it's totally salvageable. You take your plant and whatever roots you have left, you're basically going to reroot your African violets, and it's not that difficult like some people think, as long as you know what you're doing. Yeah, okay. At this point, even if there are some roots, those long roots, they're not going to make any good thing to your plant, because violet would rather grow new root than recover the old one. Because if you leave these sick, weak roots that have been already not in a good shape, they already been broken, if you leave those roots, then the violet put all effort to recover those roots, and it's going to be not healthy, it's not going to grow well, and it's just going to be more troubles than you needed. So what you do, you just take all the roots, there is nothing wrong with that, and then you need a sharp knife. Don't forget to sterilize that, because it's always very important to have a very clean instruments. I usually use Fizan 20 to clean my tools and clean my pots and everything, and it's also really good for the plant. Alright, what you do, you took all the roots out. Now you need to take couple leaves, because by taking those leaves, you first of all you reduce amount of energy violet need to feed itself, and on the places where you took the leaves, we're going to have increased amount of the roots. And plus you usually get the young plant, so those little leaves that on the bottom, they underdeveloped, so it's a good idea to take them out completely. So you kind of left maybe on this one. So now you have a perfect little violet. And what you're doing with this guy, you kind of peel all the top layer, because you need to remove every single root that was in here. Make it nice and clean, and I'm telling you, that's really healthy for the violet, because she's going to put all the energy into developing new healthy roots. And do you see how big it's the body is? So the roots going to go from every single spot on this little area. So you just peel it. It needs to be nice and green. It's really easy to do, so don't put too much effort, just like scrape lightly all these little brown things, and the end I usually cut a little bit for the clean cut, just tiny bit. So now you have everything nice. Once I cleaned all the roots, I always spray it with Fizan 20, It's just, I really love this product, and it just works really good for me. This way you clean up all the area and you disinfect if there is anything left in there. So, and now you take the same container or you clean it. This was my plant, so I know that there was nothing wrong with that, but it's very good to disinfect the little container before using it, but I'll just reuse it anyways. And also what I'm going to do, I like to put violets on a little wicking system. It's easy to water this way, so I use that synthetic little rope. I think it's a masonry line, comes like that, goes I bought it at the hardware store, and it's been really great for me. It's perfect size, it's not too small, not too big. So you put it in that little hole that on the bottom of the cup, like that, and you start putting mix, the African violet mix. The only thing, if you using the African violet mix, the one that you can buy at the regular stores, like that looks like this. If you want to use this mix in a wicking system, that's how I prepare my mix for the wicking system. I pour the mix. It has perlite, but it's just not enough. And then I add about this much perlite, and I don't know how you say it, but it's a vermiculite, the same amount. I don't use the accurate measurements in here, I just do it by eye, but it should be like third, and third, 3 equal parts or so. And then I add just a little bit water. And I mix everything. Sometimes I mix, or sometimes because I'm using that container from the cakes or takeouts, I can just close it and mix it nicely. This way it mixes up really nicely and evenly. And your mix is ready. And now you just fill it up to the top, like that. I like to fill it up all the way, but not like over the top, but it's like that. And what you guys doing next is very simple. You make a little hole, 2 tubes, and you put your violet right in there. Just make sure that it's nice and snug in there. And after you've done that, it's very important to put it in a little greenhouse. Like I say, that the greenhouse could be everything you can possibly imagine. So you can take just regular cup like that, put it in, make sure it's nice and straight, and then you can take regular film and just put it over. And the same thing, put it in a light window, not open sunshine because sunshine will burn it, but nice warm window or under fluorescent light. It would be extra good. Violets love fluorescent light, the grow light. And the moment you'll see the new leaves coming out in the middle, that's when your violet is fully rerooted. It's a perfect quarantine scenario. So it's like you quarantine it for 1 month and you reroot it. So after you're done with your welcome procedure, it's going to be big, healthy, beautiful violet. Now we have bunch of leaves left, and this is really good. I never throw away all these leaves because it's perfect as a backup for your violet in case if something happens. You always have to grow young violet somewhere, even if it's your plant and you're just absolutely happy with this. Violets, they don't live very long. It's only like few years and then you need to replace it, otherwise it becomes old and sick and weak. So it's always a good idea, even if you don't have broken leaves, it's excellent idea to, when you receive a new violet, new species, new variety, take couple leaves and root them. What we're doing for the leaves when we root them, we take the leaf, again the instrument must be really clean. You take the leaf and you cut about 45 degrees like that, nice and light. Now let it dry up for like about 5 minutes because you want those juices to be a little bit dry. And then you take the cup. You don't need to have whole because it's going to be a leaf. And the same mix as we used for the wicking system, it's perlite, vermiculite, and the peat moss. You put it in the cup. With the babies, you don't need to have cup full of violet mix. You just need to have a little bit because the sides of your cup going to hold the leaf a little bit. You kind of want to have a little hole in there. Make a little hole and you stick it in. And it's ready. And the same as the previous case, it's very important to place it in the greenhouse. In the greenhouse we're doing the same way. Take the cup, place it in, and put the film over. Very important to have film over. And that's the most successful rerooting and propagation way that I have so far. The thing is, like, this could be a little bit tricky, and first time when I tried it, my first maybe 2 or 3 leaves, they just got rotten, and that usually happen because your mix is too wet. That's very important. And sometimes if you see that it's completely it's a huge condensation on top of your cup, just open it up a little bit, maybe for like a few minutes, and freshen it up and then close again, because you don't want those drops dropping on a leaf, because a leaf doesn't like to be sprayed, or it doesn't like to have moisture on the surface of the leaf, and it's usually how your little violets get rotten. Also, I want to tell you that my first successful experiment with propagation was when I placed my little leaf into the perlite. It was 50% water on 50% perlite, and I stuck the little leaf in there, and 5 weeks later I saw a new baby. That was the first time when I got success out of my propagation, and then after that it just somehow started working for me, and I just stick it right away to the mix, and everything works great. And one more thing I wanted to show you, that when my plants arrive, I usually water them with this kind of product. It's not advertisement, that's just what I use. I bought it at my own money, and I've been using it for several years now, and I just absolutely love it. It's not a fertilizer, it's more like vitamin solution, and the plants grow really well with this kind of thing. It helps, it gives them that extra vitamins, extra energy to survive transportation and just get well sooner. And the other thing that I was telling you about, it's Fizan 20. I use it absolutely for everything. I water my plants with that, I spray it because it's great with fungus, it's great with any kind of bacteria, and it can disinfect your instruments, cups, pots, everything you can think, your workplace. This is just my must-have for the plants. And these are my violets. I don't have much space in my garden. That's why I'm using these little containers. It's the containers that I get at the grocery store. I buy the little cookies and leftover containers I'm using to propagate my violets. And by stocking like this, I save so much space and it's so cool. And violets love that a lot. You can see they're growing so nicely, and it's like a perfect little greenhouses. And then I have little containers like that, and little babies out there. So that's my little secrets, how I propagate my violets and still have room for more violets. And that was it. I hope you found my video helpful. I hope you're going to rehab all your violets from now on. And if you have any questions, let me know, or let me know if you would like to see any other videos of similar kind. And have a great day and happy growing.